So it's been something of a rocky week here in the UK, especially if you are interested in or an enthusiast of model railways like I am. And for the start of a new series here on Wi-Fi Sheep Channel 2, I was hoping we would start on a slightly better note, but unfortunately this is how we're starting. So the news that many of you will be aware of is that one of the major UK model railway retailers, which are called Hattons, decided to pull the plug on their business. Now, why that's a big issue is Hattons were one of the biggest online mail order model railway companies in the UK. I had stuff on order with them. I bought stuff with them before, for many, many years. This company is was turning over millions of pounds. And all of a sudden, out the blue, it just decided to pull the plug. I'm just going to show you this on Twitter, or now X as it's known. Yeah, so this was the announcement. And I got an email because I'm on the customer email books for the company. And here it is. With immense sadness, we share the news of the upcoming closure of Hattons Model Railways, an institution in the hobby since 1946. Over the decades, we've had the privilege to serve enthusiasts and share our passion for model railways with hundreds of thousands of customers. If you have any questions of how this has come about and how this affects you directly in regards to pre-orders, trunk orders, etc., we'll put together a Q&A, blah, 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 blah. So basically, they blamed a number of factors. It's all a bit strange, but they blamed a number of factors. Mainly, they said Brexit, which was the UK leaving the European Union, cost of living, business rate cost or something like that, and also declining market share, declining audience or customer base. Basically, old people not buying stuff anymore or dying off, and the younger generations, aka me, not being able to afford to buy anything because the prices are stupidly high on everything. But what's really annoying is I actually had a pre-order set up with them. So last year now, if we just go back to the website, and I've got it here, I actually had from Aquascale one of their brand new Class 31 00 gauge models. Trying to think which one it was now. There we are. Yeah, and now sold out. So I had this one on pre-order, and just the 169 one, not the DCC one. But see, completely sold out. I haven't lost any money, but I have lost the pre-order. And I just thought they were saying to people that lost pre-orders, "Oh, you could go to Rails of Sheffield, which is the next biggest model rail retailer in the UK, and put your pre-order in there." And I just felt, actually, I just don't feel like it at the moment. I mean, 169 is quite a lot of money. I've just had to replace my phone, so yeah. So it's a bit of a pain, really, and it is a shock. Did not see this coming. So they've had a bit of I say fire sale. It's not really they chopped 30% off, which was about the VAT on the product. But I did order something, and it actually came yesterday. So let me just show you this, which I did buy. This is second hand. Again, Hornby product, Class 153 rail car, which get 00 scale. Which, oops, just dropped that on the floor. Just bear with me. Right. Normally, they obviously give you a little, like a A4 print booklet, but this time you just get this little "Thanks for shopping with Hattons" slip, which is kind of sad, really. But yeah, and there we go. There is a used, still cost me over £80, mind you, but that's used second-hand rail car for a new project I've got going on up in the attic, which is to build a new layout, which is something we will be doing here on Channel 2. So we had the sort of the shock of Hattons. Rumours have been going around that actually what's happened is that they fell out with Bachmann, which is one of the sort of Hornby alternative manufacturer companies. If you're in the US, you'll probably know Bachmann. Bachmann, a big company for US outline, but they also have a UK division that makes N scale and double O here in the UK. So basically they fell out with Bachmann. That was over. Hattons they got so big they started manufacturing their own models, and they did their own version of the Class 66 diesel, which then competed with Bachmann's, that at the time was the only sort of higher end 66 on the market. Hornby have one, but it's a low end retool of the old Lima tooling, so it's not as high spec as the other two. So basically Bachmann said that they consider them a rival now, not a stockist. So they lost to Bachmann. I think they lost to Hornby. I'm not sure. I think they fell out with Hornby over something. I don't know. Anyway, basically, I've been having a chat with a few of my colleagues, some in just the model railway circles, others actually also do retro and vintage computing, which is the main thing we do on Wi-Fi Sheep Tech. So if you're interested in computing, computer programming, that kind of thing, do go and check out our main channel. And I've had a chat with a few people, and basically everyone's come back to me and sort of said, there's something slightly suspicious going on here. It turns out they bought, the end of last year, a European and also a US retail distribution firms, as if they've decided to quit the UK market, tied a company up, and are going to relaunch with these other brands internationally. Don't quote me on that, but this whole wind-up of a company seems weird. They're not insolvent. They've got about £5 million in the bank, according to their company house records. So there's something a bit weird going there. But for us modelers buying stuff, when we can afford it, it's a shock. It's a real shock, and did not see it coming. Anyway, I said it was a bad week. It got worse. So off the back of Hattons, we then hear from the Warley Model Railway Club. Now, they're based in the West Midlands, and they run one of the, if not the biggest model railway exhibition in the country, called Warley, which is held at the NEC, which is the National Exhibition Centre, adjacent to Birmingham International Airport. Now, I've actually exhibited there about 10 years ago. I got my layout into Warley and exhibited. But it turns out that the 2023 show, which was the show just gone, will be the last, because they're not going to carry on, citing, all sorts of excuses, from lower numbers, older demographics, higher prices. Apparently it was you spent £50 for parking and tickets before you even got into the NEC. So it's really, really expensive. And of course, if Hattons have gone, Hattons were one of the main sponsors of the Warley event. So, but they also made this, I think, slightly derogatory comment on sort of blaming that no young people wanted to come along and take on the reins. Well, and I've heard that a lot, especially in sort of preservation, model railway clubs, railway preservation, that sort of thing. My argument is, I suppose you'd class me as young, mid-30s perhaps, but young people that would be capable of organising and running these sort of things, we've got our own issues right now. Cost of living crisis, we have to work, we work long hours, a lot of us, on not exactly wonderful pay sometimes. We've got high cost of living, we've got inflation, we've got things like that. And we're really, really busy trying to just keep a roof over our head, and, we don't get a lot of spare time. And that's why young people probably don't step up to these things. There's also an issue which was brought to my attention, is did this committee actually allow any young people to come in? Because if you bring new blood in, they'll want to change things, modernise things, and a lot of these places get a bit stuck in their ways and, oh, no, you can't do that. So the young people walk. So I don't know the answer to that. I've just heard some speculation. But yeah, it's sad. But I've got to be honest with you, I hadn't gone to the Warley show in over 10 years. So the last time I went, I'm going to show you something else now. So the last time I went was December 2014. And this is the December 2014 issue of Railway Modeller magazine. This is a national publication here in the UK. And I just want to bring your attention to something, if I can find it. And I should have bookmarked it before we started. This is my layout. I had a layout, or still do have a layout, called Thornton Gate. So before I was doing Wi-Fi Sheep, I was actually known in the model railway world for Thornton Gate, which was a recreation of an actual place on the Blackpool tramway here in the UK, which is in the northwest of England on the coast. So it's actually N scale or Engage when I was interested, and this was a 2-page article, and again I'll try and bring that in frame, of the layout, and down here. So here is the last part of the article, and here we are. So that's a younger me, a younger Anna, that's my fiance, and that's actually my younger brother Sam, and he was part of our team. And it's actually a picture here from 2012. Me and Anna visited. It's actually the real site. This is the real place we went to. The show itself. This was the actual show guide that they did. A full printed show guide for the exhibition. And there is actually the floor plan. So it gives you the idea of the size of this model railway exhibition. That's the full model railways and trade and societies. So it was a big show. And here I was, stand B72, Thornton Gate Tramway. And what I did for the show, and I did it with permission from the actual club, is I actually reliveried one of my these are custom tram cars that I built. So they're actually resin cast on Japanese, I think they're Kato chassis, can't remember. They're Japanese chassis basically. And I actually did a custom livery, so the Warley National kind of advertising livery, which I wrapped one of the tram cars in. And here's a couple of these. Actually look quite crude now. We replaced these with 3D printed models, but at the time these are actually resin casted from a hand built master that I created. But yeah, so everything was kind of like printed cardboard, or was actually made out of cast resin or bits of plastic or whatever we could find at the time. So yeah, so it's I did that show, and to be honest with you, I was so exhausted and so tired off the back of it that I kind of felt I didn't ever need to go back again, which I know sounds strange, and I hadn't. And so it would have been 10 years this year had the show ran that we would have exhibited. But I've visited other shows, and Thornton Gate as well continued to exhibit at smaller events across the UK up until 2018. I think we haven't officially retired the layout, but we've kind of finished exhibiting, and now I'm building a new project in 00, which is the British equivalent of the HO scale. But yeah, so it's been a bit of a week here in the UK as sort of double shocks go. That's quite a big one, so we'll see where we go from there. As for trains on 2, we will go to more happier places in up and coming videos here on Wi-Fi Sheep Channel 2, including I'm hoping to document my new layout build project, as well as many other model railway and electric type projects that I have going on, which I think will be of interest to you over here on Channel 2. If you haven't done so already, please do consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for your company, and I'll see you real soon right here on Channel 2.